Hey everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to disassemble a twin Famicom. This is the AN505 model, and you're going to want to start off by moving those controllers to the side since they are hardwired. Flipping it over. You're going to have 7 screws. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you don't have to worry too much about, where the screws go or the screw length. They are all the same length and they only have 7 spots. Now you're going to want to flip this over. And before you lift the top shell, you're going to want to be very careful because there is a connector dead center. So you're going to want to lift up the top shell and lift it over slightly. And I will show you right there. That one is connected. So you're going to want to, one second, let me get a better shot. And the best way to get off this one is to just get your finger in on that little piece right here and pull it up. With that disconnected, you can move the shell aside and begin on the next portion. Next, you're going to want to remove this board right here. This board has a bit of the power and also the composite as well. So first things you want to do is be able to remove that wire right here. This is for the floppy drive, so it gets its power. Now you have 2 screws. You have one right here, and you have one on the back right there. Apologies for getting in the camera. Now that's there. If you needed to work on it, you could always slip it out if you want, or whatever you choose. This can stay here while you're working on the next portion. But to get out the main board, you are going to want to take off these 2 right here, because that one that is on the other board is soldered below. So you're going to want to take your finger and lift back gently on this clip and then rock it out of place. And there it goes. That's that one. And then this other one right here, this one should just come out. And then those connectors are free. You can also remove all these other connectors, which are on the lower section right here. If you want, you can remove this one, and this one as well. Let's see here. That one is covered by that wire, so. But you can remove them. Now, if you're just going to be working on the board, let's see, you're going to want to take out this first. Can't tell if that one is actually, no, I think that one's soldered to the bottom. So let's first start by taking out this cartridge area. And the cartridge area right here has 2 screws. shielding can come off, but what you need to do first is remove this pin. So you lift it sideways and you pull it out. And then you press on the eject all the way down and it comes out. Next, what you're going to want to do is turn your console sideways. And let me see if I can get it in the picture. Before you remove the board, to get under it, you're going to want to deal with these buttons right here. They do have a little tab here and underneath on both. So the easiest way I found to do this is to get your finger under, or your pinky finger, or however you want to choose to do it, and you pinch both underneath and you pull once it starts to break free. You're going to want to do that to this other one right here. And the other button comes off. Once those are done, this board is able to lift. And now you have your board exposed. So looking back again, yes, this connector right here is soldered to the bottom, so this one cannot be removed. And looking again, these two right here are also soldered, so those two can also not be removed. So these three connectors would have to be desoldered if you were to work on the board isolated. So now getting back this board into the console, you want to make sure that obviously your eject is lined up and that nothing else is in the way. And you situate your board inside the case. Now that you have that board in there, you can put your buttons back first if you'd like. So this model has this color button over here and its power LED button on the side. So you want to align it, making sure that the square on here actually fits in correctly. And I will show you that in 1 second if I can get a zoom. So when you're putting these in together, you want to make sure the square is also lining here, and when you're pushing it in, that those tabs actually line up. When you're pushing it, then it should fall into place. Same thing goes for the other one as well, which is over here. Let me turn the camera. And the same would go for this other one as well. So on this one, the plastic piece right here would go above there, and you want to push it in. And now it's good. And now with that button and the other button put in, you can start by moving this back around, and you can start also by putting this back in. So the easiest way to do it is to hold down on the eject button, hold down all the way, and slide the two little openings right there in, actually this way, and then it should hold. Next thing you want to do is get that metal rod with the rounded portion over here. It's going to slide through the side, so you'll be able to, but you have to line it up. So you might need to push a little bit. Then goes through the other hole, and you need to look onto your left side, and you might need to push down a little bit as well. Once it's gone in all the way to here, you can push it down. Then you can take your two screws that you had for this port, and you can screw it back down. Then you can grab your other one camera there. Camera must be right in the way. But that's how it always is. Now that is the board now put in. If you wanted to do the disk drive is a whole another thing. Getting it out is not the problem, of course. You can just disconnect its floppy power, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and the floppy drive comes out. But I'm not going to do a disassembly on the floppy drive since it is much more in depth, and that could be for a later video. Same thing goes for adjusting and calibrating the floppy drive as well, since that is a major issue on most of these models. The last thing you want to do, again, is you need to go up here and you're going to want to reconnect that floppy drive's power right there. You want to reconnect your white connector up here, the black one that you had above it. And then, like I said before, the 3 on the bottom are soldered in. Then you are going to take your last 2 screws that you have for the board in the back, your power and composite, and you are going to put those in. One goes right back here. And your final screw goes right there. Now getting the case back on, that top shell. Remember, you got that one connector right here. That connector goes right on top. And then move out the camera out of the way. And I'm going to back this up. And with your new shell, your top shell, sorry, back on, you can flip it right to the back. And you can put in your last 7 screws. And I'm going to screw these back together and end the video here. So thank you for watching, and hopefully this helped you a little bit, at least on the disassembly of your twin Famicom. I will probably in the future make one on the floppy drive, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.